but that does not make you its originator.
Hiya,
Go look up legwork online and be in the know.
Hiya,
And then
next for your dramatic readings.
somebody said, thanks for proving his point. Memphis been juking since the 80s. So Africa took an L there. And then...
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 30% podcast. I am your host, Sam, and I'm here with my co-host, Afamefuna, aka...
Yo, what's up? We in here, man.
AKA G's Afam, aka none of this was real. You have to, can we throw a tag in there? You have to throw a tag in.
AKA Afam on this beat.
Afam Beats?
Yeah, that used to be my tag.
Wait, it used to be Afam Beats. Oh gosh, that's crazy.
No, Afam on this beat.
Afam on this beat. Oh no.
Yes.
Oh, well, it's better. I have not really had a tag. There's that one tag I had, but I thought I stopped using it because I thought Drake would come for me. It's off his song.
Oh, yeah. No, you should just use it, man. Use it.
Yeah, fam, I'm not trying to get sued. I don't have
and
no...
on the
I'm not trying to get...
that Drake... No, but you see, that's the thing. If Drake and his team realizes that you're using it, then you're doing something right.
Oh, I'm coming through with the knowledge. That's why Twitter had you on there talking about A&R, even though this is not about A&R. That's great. Afam, tell me about your week, man. How are you doing? What you been up to?
My week has been swell.
Okay, swell.
No, so yeah, my week has mostly just been me preparing for the release. We had a release at the end of the week, which maybe I'll talk about like during our music segment.
Yep.
But yeah, we had a release, so I've just it was basically me preparing for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a few artists come to the studio. He's called Mr. K. He came through with Cap, who we know, and FK Beats. These are some really dope producers, like upcoming
the new school.
I don't even know if they're upcoming anymore. I feel like they're establishing themselves as bona fide, producers. So yeah, I was just with them. I think that was Tuesday. I want to say Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days. What else was I doing? Oh yeah, I was mixing a bunch of things, man.
Hey.
Just had to mix a bunch of things, and yeah, my life has just been mixing this week. Essentially, it was giving me anxiety, low key, but here we are. How about yourself?
Oh no! Wait! Before that. Okay, I don't know whether we can talk about it now, but I think it's important. How do you prepare for a release?
Oh, how do we prepare for a release?
Yep.
Well, so I guess you have to have all your assets in place. That's one thing you realize. Like you have to have a press kit, right? Because if you don't have a press kit, how are you gonna send
press
your
kit?
Music?
Whatever is a press kit.
Okay, so a press kit. So a press kit will include these key things. You have to have pictures. Pictures. You have to have pictures of the artist, the artwork, and all that type of stuff. It has to be there because if you send this to media, they have to see an image or a visual representation of the artist. So you have to have pictures, and they have to be high quality, really high quality, or as high quality as you can get. So you have to have pictures. You also can include videos. So whether this is behind the scenes videos of you guys making the songs, or like 30-second visualizer trailers of like the artwork and stuff like that, those things are important because say you send the music to a media outlet like a blog.
Yep.
That's what they're gonna post. They're gonna post the visualizer. They're gonna post like the 30-second trailer of the video that's coming out in a week or something like that. You have to have that in there. Then another thing a press kit requires is an EPK. What does EPK stand for?
Tell
Electronic
us,
press
whatever
kit.
does it stand for?
It's an electronic press kit. So essentially, this is just so it's very key that you make this one page. Why
Ooh.
should you make this one page?
People aren't
Because
about reading.
media people
Yeah.
are lazy.
They don't.
Okay, no, sorry.
They don't
Well,
care. No,
that
trust.
sounds
They're
like a shot.
they're lazy. I just saw a recent example
okay.
of them being lazy to the highest form.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Lazy to the highest
but
form.
This is the fact. Media people don't like to read a lot.
Yeah.
So you need to keep all the information about your so in this EPK, you're gonna have the information about the release. So what is the song or the album about? And then you're gonna have the information about yourself or you, the artist, like just a brief paragraph about, yo, my name is Artist X, and this is why I make music. And then you're gonna have like hyperlinks in there, like to maybe your past music and like your past music videos and stuff. But always keep this to one page because nobody is trying to read something that's too long.
Yeah.
So you have your EPK, you have your pictures, you have a few videos in there that with, like your whatevers. What else do you include in an EPK, Sam?
I don't know. Tell us, please.
Instagram dimension stuff, which I guess also doubles with like TikTok dimension stuff. So you have story posts, like you have to have that in there, like
how many?
30 seconds, 15 seconds, maybe 3. I want to say 3. Those are things that can double for like also TikTok, YouTube Shorts content. You may even include like a YouTube banner or Twitter banner, something like that, just so that all these outlets that you send your EPK to, your press kit to, have content to post. And yes, so that's one thing. That's one thing you have to do. You have to have that ready. Now, you also have to have the networks to send that stuff to. So that's also something you need to do.
You're just
you're
not just making it and looking at it on your phone.
Exactly. So yeah. So if you're gonna send this to all the blog outlets in Kenya, the blog outlets could be, so the way I look at the media outlets is like the more personable ones. So we're talking about like the ones that like are really close to the fans or to the listeners. So we're looking at like the Address or Tangaza Magazine or let me see what else is like really, I don't know, like those type of blogs that have cultivated a really close-knit community. And then also then you have like the other tier of type of blogs which are more like mainstream. We have the Mpashos, we have the Nairobi Newses, we have the that type of stuff. All those blogs and stuff. Like you have to send them. It's better if you know somebody. It's better if you have a personal connection with them, and because they'll just pay more attention. Because these guys are getting emails left, right, and center. You have to send the stuff to the media personalities in newspapers, radio, all that type of stuff. That's what they're going to want. Then DJs and radio, what will they need? Oh yeah, I forgot. In the EPK, you also have to have the music. And you have to have the music in a specific way.
Very importantly.
You have to have it. Yeah, you have to have it in a specific way. You have to have the music itself.
Yeah.
Then you have to have the instrumental track. Then you have to have the a cappella
Wait, we're
track.
still doing that in 2023? That's weird.
Yeah.
And why can't I get a cappellas for all these songs then that I'm trying to...
Well, I don't know if everybody does this, but I do this. I include the 3-piece. That's what all these DJs called it. They call it the 3-piece. Like if you send stuff to DJs, they'll always be like, yo, can I have a 3-piece?
Why?
Can I have
Why
a
is that
3-piece?
still... a thing
because
this stage.
you want to give them like ultimate control, so they can have the instrumental, and then if they want to add the vocals they can. Like, it just gives them all that like control. And so the DJs, the radio hosts, and all that type of stuff, they need that stuff. Then what else do you need to do? If the last, well, bruh, there's just so much to do, but you just have to also pitch your music on the streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Spotify for artists, they're gonna like allow you to pitch. You have to pitch music. So essentially, oh my God, Sam, this could be the whole podcast. Anyway, in brief.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, just in brief, like, pitching is a process in which you convince Spotify why your song has to or deserves to be placed on a playlist. Why is this important? Playlisting is, fortunately or unfortunately, one of the biggest ways in which people discover music today.
Yeah.
And so you have your release, you'll do a small write-up as to why it should be playlisted, and they'll review that and be like, wow, what a nice pitch. And they'll also have the music. Typically you should do this a month to 3 weeks before the release, so you don't just upload music today and say, let me release it in 5 days and think you're okay. No, you have to do this like at least a month to 3 weeks.
You have to give them enough time to get to it, because there's a lot of music being sent to these guys.
There's a ton of music. Yeah, and then you're just gonna have to hope that whoever curates playlists over on Spotify, etc., is gonna like your music and place it in the appropriate playlist.
Yeah, pray that the playlist god shine. The playlist gods shine their faces upon you and give you grace. The gods of the playlist. Do you need to do? What else do you need to do before a release? Well, there's some unethical things, but let's get to it now. Yes, this is the juice.
Or this is stuff that Don Jazzy probably didn't want to talk about in his whatever.
Yeah.
But all I'm gonna say is you have to utilize your networks well. So if you have good networks, and these networks are in positions that can, because ultimately, what you're gonna find when you work in the industry is that there are numerous gatekeepers.
Oh yeah.
And see,
that sucks.
This is the thing. These people may have even cultivated their own like platforms, and it's like, you own that platform, and you've now put yourself in the position of being a gatekeeper because of this great thing that you created. And it's like, okay, fine, power to you. Hopefully you use your power as a gatekeeper well.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's gonna come at a cost. I'm not saying that I do this. I do not. But
of course not. No. Never.
I would never.
Never.
I would never. But yeah, ultimately, especially like in just like the higher levels of like the music industry, like we're talking like now with like really like the professional. There's some money that's gonna exchange hands.
Some favors, perhaps. Yes.
Some favors, maybe
some features, some features for free.
This is my favorite one. Exchange of value.
Exchange of value. Yeah.
That's the word.
PC it up nice.
Exchange of value. It makes it sound so clean.
It does.
And so like honest. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing. So if you have those, utilize them. Don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't utilize all the connections you have.
Yeah.
If you have connections, if you have somebody in the newspaper, if you have somebody at the radio, please utilize that. That person can really help gain mileage for your track. And then at the end of it all, send that stuff to everybody you know, all the people all the people you know, like the WhatsApp groups. By the way, WhatsApp groups can be really clutch for distributing music.
But you have to do it tactfully though, so you don't find yourself kicked out of the group. There's some groups we're not exactly. Nah, keep your music, bro. We don't need that.
Me personally, I don't use this approach. I really dislike when I receive like broadcast messages, and it's very impersonal, and it's like, wow, like, oh wow, you don't even say my name. It's oh, I just released new music. Kindly click on this link, whatever, and I can tell that you've sent this to literally 100 people.
Why though?
Me
So what
personally, I like,
what would you want? Personalization.
yes,
Okay.
I would, because I don't know. That's just how I am. I'd prefer if somebody personalized a
Maybe you can
text to
use.
me.
Maybe we should utilize an AI bot for WhatsApp that personalizes the message as many times as you're sending it and send something different. You'll be
Yeah,
fooled
but you
there.
see, the AI is going to personalize it in an impersonal way. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, but
because all it's going to
ChatGPT
do
can
is
get
have
very
a template.
cute with it.
Can it?
I'm pretty sure it could. It can get very cute.
Because me, what I've observed is like it'll just have a template, and then the beginning will be, "Hi, Afam." You see, like, will it be able to do this? Will it be able to be like, "Yo, Afam, I remember we were talking about this and this."
Oh, yeah.
So
okay, well,
I
yeah.
actually
Now you have
made
to start
a
feeding it
song.
all that information. That's more time. Just send the
See,
message.
that's what I'm saying.
Just send the
that's what I'm
message.
saying. It's better for me personally, I'd rather
Yeah.
sit down and personalize 10 messages, and it takes me a long time than do a broadcast message to 100 people. And
Not
it's
to say that it doesn't work
extremely
though.
impersonal.
That's just Afam's
No,
opinion.
yes. No. Broadcast messages work, and that's why people do them. But for me personally, it's like whenever I receive a broadcast message, I'm not likely to click on it just because
Yeah.
I feel like
I feel the same way. It also goes a long way when the person reading it feels like you took the time to write it to them rather than just forwarded them a message. So that's an important, I guess, thing to know. Even when you're interacting with people in the industry too, it's one of the things that take people far is how you deal with people, your person-to-person relations. Are you just a robot? Just, hey, I'm doing this thing, here's this thing, support me because I support you in all the business, or are you taking the time to like go further and see what's going on? So
and then just to finalize, you just have your post-release activities. Now, post-release activities are a myriad of things. Maybe you have a music video that accompanied the release, so you can release that like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks even after the release. That keeps on you keep on having conversations around the release, right?
Yeah.
So the life of the release is maintained, and then doing interviews. So radio interviews. One of the best platforms I feel like is Radio 254, because they interview literally everyone as long as you're Kenyan. Like, I feel like they give a lot of opportunities to a lot of people who might not even be well known.
Yeah.
So that could be a nice place to start if you feel like, oh, I don't have enough clout to be on Kiss or to be on energy radio, like 254 Radio 254. They got you, man. So Radio 254 are really, really clutch, and I really appreciate what they do. Yeah, I really appreciate what they do. So you can start there. And then the thing is, once you do an interview with one outlet, like your name begins to, like, you're in the public domain, right? And so now, if let's say you've done an interview with Radio 254, the next time when you're reaching out to Trace or to this and the other, like, they'll have like, oh wow, okay, this is somebody who is they're kind of there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then they'll be more likely to giving you the interview. And then one thing you can also do is pop-ups and meetups done very well by like the likes of Cap.
Yeah.
Remember when Cap released his project?
Release parties, all of them.
Yeah, oh yes, that's another one. But like, yeah, when Cap had his his release party, he had it at a what was it called, Bistro Adreno, and he had all these guys come, and he was selling merchandise, and it was cool. So having physical interactions with people,
goes a long way. It goes a long way.
Yes. Exactly, because these people will ride for you, and they'll feel more like you see, that's my problem with broadcast messages. They don't feel personalized. And then yes, Sam mentioned the very important thing, and this is the last thing I'm saying about this, is listening parties. So even beforehand, if you have the means to host a listening party, this is very, very smart because you can invite all the media outlets and
Yeah.
the media people
Yes.
to the listening party. And one thing Kenyans love
Free.
is parties
Oh.
and drinking and having fun and free stuff.
Yeah.
So yes,
Keep it
so you
free, keep
invite
it
them.
open. If you want to do the
Yeah.
exclusive thing, you can, but just know that you'll be locking out potential, especially if you're new. As long as it's safe, it's probably best just whoever wants to show up will show up. And another thing I'd add,
For sure.
Another thing I'd add to the end, and this is, I guess, if you have extra budget, but it also helps as you're preparing your single or your album, whatever. Think about merchandise. Think
Yes.
about what you can do outside of just the music offering itself to further the music. So you can create, we've seen it, create t-shirts, create hats, be creative with it. It doesn't just have to be that. Again, you can go further and ask to partner up with, get like deals with companies and whatnot to help. Like there's a lot you can do further. Of course, that works better when you're more established and you have more pull, but just whatever you're doing, it has to be like super quality. Make sure that it's well thought of and quality, not just for the sake of it, because we can fans know.
And then also just always remember that the music industry is really not about the music.
No.
And I say that look, the music matters. You have to have really good quality music. That's fine, but ultimately that's the least of your worries.
Yep.
The most of your worries should be, unfortunately, it should be tied towards the marketing, the release strategy, and the rollout plan.
Yeah.
Because, fortunately or unfortunately, we live in a society, not society, in a time period where everyone is making good quality music. And so to really, really stand out and compete, your music has to be good quality and you have to have something extra.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's
something
that extra
offering.
thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that extra thing you're offering is attention to your rollout plan, attention to your marketing, attention to your networking and all that type of stuff. And then you will be set. So that's essentially how you handle
Disclaimer.
a release.
Yeah.
Sam, how was your week?
Wait. A disclaimer.
We haven't even talked about how your week was.
My week was great, bro. Sorry, a disclaimer before we get into that. A disclaimer: you could do all of these things. Now, the thing about music is perseverance. It's just like any other field. So
and
you can
consistency.
and consistency. You can do all these things, and your music still doesn't get to where you imagine it to be. This is not like a free pass to having well listened to music. Like you'll have to consistently make it a culture to consistently do this and release and do this and release, and that's how you get to your goals. So if it doesn't work the first time, don't be too disappointed. It's the nature of the game.
And having yes, what Sam said is really, really, really true. And also having like if you wanna go mainstream as well, having a TikTok, Instagram, Reels, YouTube Shorts strategy, like you've seen what the wonders it did for Angela and Boutros. I know we've talked about that song a lot, but once they saw that it was doing something on TikTok, what they did was they had a competition and they were like, who can do the best Angela, whatever.
Yeah.
And
that propels the song.
Thing.
Yeah, into it creates more fans than just because now people who are dancing are like, okay, let me get on this, and now they're fans of the song, and then it's bigger. So yeah.
And that's where people like Lil Maina really thrive, because those guys, they're gonna post the snippet of the song on TikTok and it's really just gonna do wonders. And then people are gonna do marketing for you, which is great.
It's brilliant.
What if you see Lil Mina's stories, like it's a bunch of he just posts stories of people doing TikToks to his song.
Yeah.
On his Instagram, and it's like, all he had to do was download a video of this girl looking really pretty in the TikTok listening to his song and he put it on his story. And then it just makes the release feel so much bigger. It makes the song feel so much bigger. And it's just because you got like some TikTok traction. So you can find some of these dancers. Hey, there was a time I went down the rabbit hole and I was looking at all these TikTok dancers and stuff. It's a whole culture.
Yeah.
Like, especially these kids who are still in uni, like that's what they do the whole day. Like they'll do TikTok dances.
Do you think it's
like
it's
to
it's
different songs?
yeah? Do you think it's wise paying the influencers to do that, or do you think it should be organic?
Organic. Nothing in this world is organic, Sam.
Yikes.
So yes, it's wise to pay these guys. Like if you find, so essentially you have to have like a hybrid of organic and paid. Like because nothing really is organic. So you find these dancers and it's so easy to find them. So just for me, the tactic I use is you go to a trending sound and just scroll on the sound and then reach out to these guys. Most times they'll have linked their Instagrams or their emails and stuff like that. And you can hit them up and be like, yo, I saw you did a dance for Kaskie Vibaya. Would you be open to doing a dance for this song? Because my song is similar and it's like a gengeton type of vibe. And they'll listen to the song and they'll be like, yo, bro, yeah. Some of them will be like, yo, I got you. Some of them will be like, yo, I charge 5,000. Some will be like, yo, I charge 10,000. And it's fine. It's always good to ask. You can always say, bro, actually I don't have the budget for this, but next time for sure.
And you say it
or
nicely
like,
too. Don't be rude about it, because
yeah, just be nice. Or you could just be like, yo, I have the budget for that. Or you could be like, yo, listen, I'm gonna be doing a bunch of releases. So let's do this. I can pay you if they give you X. They say, yo, could you pay X? I can pay you like probably 80% of X because that's what I have right now. But I'll be releasing music consistently, so I'll definitely come back and we can work for longer. That's how you foster like a relationship. And yes, that's and what I've said is probably like 40% of what you're supposed to do. I haven't exhausted anything.
There's a lot that goes into it. Anyway. That's a little master.
Especially now when you get to the big leagues, man. I've seen some of the stuff these guys do, man. It's really well planned, well orchestrated, and
time consuming and resource consuming. It's not easy work being a popular.
Talk about resource consuming.
It's not easy being a popular musician. Everyone wants to be an artist. Let me tell you the truth. Once you get there, you have to spend money. That's why a good team is important, but that's a story for another day. How was my week? My week was great.
30 minutes in.
My week was all right, man. It was good. Speaking of I forgot. Speaking of, there's something you talked about.
Good weeks.
No, there's something you talked about. I wanted to segue into the last week we had talked about it was last week, right? Fabulous getting
Fabulous
destroyed.
getting.
So this week
by Kenyan Twitter, KOT.
This week Swahili decides to well, it's not Kenyan, but it's still Africa. Swahili decides to oopsie. He did an oopsie. He did an oopsie. Oh
Swahili,
man.
Swahili.
Puts the people on. You're the one who showed me the story. It was hilarious.
Usually the outlets will be like, the I ain't got no type hit maker made a big oopsie. Why did they do that?
The unforgettable. No, because it's. I mean, you know the song more than you know his name, probably. Especially a song that does really well. Like people probably know No Type more than they know Swahili and Slim Jimmy. In fact, mention Slim Jimmy. A lot of people don't know who Slim Jimmy is, unfortunately. But he's doing well. He's staying in the house.
Jimmy,
he's staying. No, him is doing. He's staying in the house. Swahili is outside here. Just he needs to relax.
Okay, so like Sam was saying, there was some news with Swahili. So the reason, I know this isn't Kenyan news, but we have like an overall question that we wanted to address. So Swahili says, poor guy. Hold up, I'm just pulling up the tweet. He says, wait till you all hear Swahili on Amapiano. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
On Amapiano.
And then bro made the fatal mistake to put the Nigerian flag.
Ooh, and there's already now. That's tone deaf because you already know Nigeria and South Africa are already fighting.
Bro.
Like we're not super cool with each other like that.
Sam, the moment I saw this, I knew, oh my
It's
god,
over for him.
this guy.
It's over for him.
Finished.
So he decides to confuse, and well, his confusion is it's understandable, right? Because Nigeria, we've taken Amapiano and completely commercialized it. Let me say that we've taken Amapiano and commercialized it. We've made it more popular, more pop. So he's in his defense. In his defense, he of course he was flamed on Twitter. No one is going to let you rest on Twitter or X. He was completely
especially
destroyed.
South African Twitter.
Completely destroyed. They got rid of him, and then his apology was world peace.
Why do people always preach peace whenever their back is against the wall?
It's a
Sam.
Yeah.
When your back is against the wall, just
because who hates peace? Who hates peace? Like that.
Nobody.
Who hates peace? Like that's and especially when it comes to countries, when people they think that that's the thing to push. Anyway, so he's like world peace. I'm all out for peace. I'm all out for us being brothers. What did he say? He said he has Nigerian in him.
Sam, that's my tactic next time. Next time I say something controversial, I could be like, yo, that song is ass. But then, listen, guys, let's love each other. Let's love all. Yeah, and I'm trying to get myself
Oh man, it's the new I was hacked. It's the new I was hacked.
Somebody did this.
Yeah. So he's like, I have a Nigerian in me. What else did he say? He said, oh, now this is what I'm saying. What he was saying about is valid. South Africans, don't come for me. Don't kill me, please. The fact that Amapiano was more popularized by the Nigerians, right? There's a greater chance of Americans, people in the West, being introduced to Amapiano by Nigerians, especially since Nigerians are doing. I keep saying Nigerians, since Nigerians are doing really well over there. So that makes sense.
For a lot of people, the first time they hear Amapiano log drums, unfortunately, will be on an Afrobeat song, especially people like in the West.
Yeah, it's the pop version of that. So he says that he was introduced to Amapiano through the Nigerian sound, and that's understandable. But maybe this is a sign of ignorance where you need to do artists in the West should start doing more research before they start interacting with Africa, because it seems like a lot of them are very, very ignorant to the sound and the culture and what really happens. I just think Africa seems to be it's like what's that Alice in Wonderland? Where is it? Alice in Wonderland, where you walk into, where you enter a whole different world, or Chronicles of Narnia. You open the closet and you enter a different world. And so Africa seems like that to them. Like it's this mythical motherland. It's like, fam, we're here actually. We have internet. We have Spotify. We're good. I mean, well, the major places are good. The same places that are suffering. To go on. I saw him struggle to say Congo.
Oh, what did he say?
I saw him. He was mentioning, like, he was rattling off African countries, and then he said Congo. Then he was like, is Congo? Yeah, I'm just going to commit. Then he said Congo again. It's hilarious. That's ignorance at its highest level. Poor guy. Stay in the house.
Okay. So obviously this happened in mid-July. So it's not really new news. But the reason we bring it up now is because also in the news there's I don't know if you guys listen to Duke Deuce. He's the guy who made Cranky Day.
Never heard a song.
The Crank Ain't
Not
Dead.
even once.
You ever heard Crank Ain't Dead?
No, not at all.
It's a great song. Like, you've probably seen the video. It's the one where it starts when they're reviving him and he's in the studio.
Yeah, no.
You've never seen Crank Ain't Dead? Oh, okay. Anyway. So Duke Deuce posts on his Instagram. It's a video of Burna Boy teaching Jimmy Fallon how to do the African moonwalk. And this apparently triggered a lot of people from America, particularly like the Memphis area, because in their eyes, what Burna Boy was doing is called the Memphis juke
Yeah.
or something like that. And so they're kind of saying that he's biting, and he seems genuinely, because his caption is "Y'all are starting to piss me off now." And then he posts another post and is like, Memphians been teaching y'all the culture for years, even on your land, like I said. Shout out to Lil Buck, shout out to Burna Boy. And then he did a video of him doing the dance, etc, etc.
Oof.
If you go into the comments, it's just a lot of people like very incensed. I'll just read a few comments. So this is something that happened literally today. So somebody says, the dance is simply just African African American culture, bro. Let's relax and stamp the red, blue, and white flag black. If he did learn this footwork style from Memphis, allow him to educate the world through his influences. Then Dukdu says, I'm about to make you eat your words. Stay tuned for the proof. Somebody else says, really, man? You need to calm the F down. This dance has nothing to do with you, Memphis, or whatever y'all are claiming. I respect your creativity, dog, but this right here has been around since '04. One thing with Africa and Nigerians, to be precise, is they keep reinventing the heritage, and you might have hit the move a couple of times, but that does not make you its originator. Go look up legwork online and be in the know.
I found next for your dramatic readings.
Somebody said, thanks for proving his point. Memphis been juking since the 80s. So Africa took an L there. And then somebody gave like the whole history. They're like, gangster walking, often referred to as G-walk, bucking, taking, juking, or chopping, is a street dance that originated in African American communities in Memphis, Tennessee, alongside buck music during the 90s. The gangster walk is commonly performed to crunk music due to the movement the dancers make to keep with it. Though gangster walking has been around for many years, much of the dance is still exclusive to the city and surrounding areas. Gangster walk was created in Memphis!
Whoa, relax,
exclamation mark.
Calm down,
you can't take whatever you want and give it a name just because you want to. This is disrespectful, but nowadays people don't give a about respect, period.
I like that ending. That was fire. Let me. I need to jump to Burna Boy's defense here. Okay. Let me try and give him some bail. So do
you think he's stolen from Memphis, Sam? Do you think Burna Boy is stealing from the Memphians?
I think it's possible. However, there is nothing new. Listen, it's possible that he stole it. It's also possible that there's also possible that someone randomly in Nigeria thought of this.
Was
and
doing
made
the
it
dance.
a thing. Yeah, and made it a thing without looking at, like, there's nothing new under the sun. It's not...
Sam. No, sorry, go ahead, sorry.
I understand the Memphis point, because what, again, art is an expression of culture, right? So when you see that now, and people are very, they're very, very protective about their culture. Right, especially in the West, in America, they love their zones and their cities and states and everything, right? So
Zone 6.
I get when Burna Boy goes on one of the biggest stages and claims that something you guys hold as part of your culture belongs to them. I can see why he's a bit agitated and is like, nah, and want to defend it. But at the same time, you need to understand that dance has probably been done by some random people in Hawaii, and they've called it something completely different, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Bro, one thing I like, you see how Mexicans have salsa?
Yeah.
Right? And we have kachumbari.
Oh, I thought what you said, because we were talking about dancing. I was like, what does kachumbari have to do?
Oh, not the dance, like salsa, like the food, and we have kachumbari.
And I think in some places in the West, they call it the chutney.
Whatever. And you think of these two things and they're very similar, and it's like, wait, but how come we have the same thing,
same ingredients,
different cultures, but same ingredients, same concept? it's because sometimes that stuff just happens where you guys come to the same conclusion but very different routes,
Yeah.
and nobody was stealing from anyone.
It might be the,
You know,
but that dance is kind of lazy though. They're calling it the what moonwalk. It's like the buffering moonwalk.
the African moonwalk.
That's the buffering moonwalk.
If anything, they were influenced by Michael Jackson, not Memphis. I'm so sorry, man.
And he did that long before. It's I do understand it. I understand why fighting for it is a thing, but at the same time, it's like it's culture. You need to hold it a bit looser because it's going to replicate itself, if not now,
Sam,
later.
My overarching question, I guess, is how come there's just such a huge disconnect? And we talked about this again like last week, but there's a huge disconnect between Africans and African Americans. We saw it with Fabulous. We've seen it happen to Sway Lee. We're seeing it happen now with Duke Deuce and Burna Boy.
I think,
how come we can't just get along?
I think
that's why we're bringing this up.
I think it's deeper, and it's a deeper talk. And a more serious talk. I think it has a lot to do with, so Black American culture, they tend to, how they tend to, Africa is, and not just Black America, it's around the world. Africa is like I was saying earlier, it's the mythical land. It's the promised land, pun. And so they identify with an Africa that I don't want to say isn't real, but then it's not our experience here in Africa. What they think is happening on this side of the world is not necessarily what's happening. I think that's a disconnect, because now they are sort of operating with the mindset that, okay, Africa is this one way, and we are all Africans, we're all accepted. And here we're like, oh, but you guys are from the West and you guys have it a lot better than we do in many areas. You have better systems, better flourishing, and you want to run over, they live there and run over here. It's a lot that goes into it. It's identity. It's culture. It's a big thing. It's not just ignorance. Of course, it manifests itself in ignorance, but I think there's a lot deeper, and it obviously starts from I guess slavery and Africans being transported around the world and being taken away from their home. So there's that aspect of it, but I don't think it's the only thing that's going on. That's a disconnect.
There just seems to be a huge disconnect, and it's unfortunate because, man, like, can't we all just get along? Look at me preaching peace.
Like Sway Lee.
I'm taking a leaf from Sway Lee's book, man. Let's all get along.
But post the right flag, though. That's part of getting along. You can't just start fires for no reason. Stop being ignorant. Anyway.
Yeah. But I genuinely, I don't think Burna Boy is being, I don't know. It's because probably the way he came across that dance was not through Memphis, but
if it was, listen, if it was Burna Boy, like, just give dues to who is due. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's.
No way Burna Boy was out here in his youth.
Are you serious? Well, you don't think this artist? Come on, there's artists who will do that one.
No, in his youth though.
What do you mean in his youth?
When he was younger, like I just don't see it though. I don't see him being like, this is the Memphis juke. Oh, wow, I'm gonna put my own spin on this.
You have so much faith in artists. You have it's possible. All I'm saying is it's very possible that
doubted. But
guys steal things all the time.
I feel like it's just so niche. Like, it's such a niche like thing, this whole Memphis like dance. Like, I that's why I'm really convinced that wherever Burna Boy got it from, it would be Michael Jackson. That was the influence, and then the African guys, they put their spin on it, and that's how they came up with whatever they came up with. I don't know if it came from, because Michael Jackson, everyone knew Michael. Like, he had just
he's
so
like,
much influence.
He's like the superstarest of all superstars.
But anyway, guys, listen, let's all get along. Let's
peace and love.
Just, peace and love to everybody involved.
What does Ubuntu mean? I don't know what that word means. They've thrown it
don't know,
around.
but it's something positive.
You're right.
Speaking of positive stuff, there was positively a lot of music that came out, Sam.
That was so low level. Oh man.
That was the lowest of levels.
But thank
Sam,
you. Mm-hmm.
what did you listen to that came out this week
Oh
that
man.
just made you say,
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just stop the question there. Just don't do that. Just
were you feeling minimal this week and you wanted to listen to something that uplifts you?
no,
Or
not at all.
were you were you going about your day and saying, you know what, you know the drill, like you know the drill. Kirby released a song with Big Gas.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
and then,
Look. That's what I'm telling you. When you start getting fancy and creative with it, you lose. You lose me. Speaking of drill, yes, there's a song called "Overseas" that dropped. It is by an artist, a new artist, an upcoming artist. His name is Trigger Youngboy. Produced by Superdrum. Now, if we do not know, Superdrum is AFAM, and the guys over there it's essentially AFAM. And so shout out to Afam. I just want to give him his flowers first. Song is called Overseas. It's drill, so we do know the drill. Haha, pun. Yeah, that's fine. You want to tell us a little bit about the song? It's your platform, bro. Why are you being so hush?
Well, mostly I want to just give people insight on Trigger Youngboy.
Yeah.
I think he is one for the future. Trigger came to the studio via one of the producers who we've been working with. He's called playke. And I was introduced to him, and I was like, yo, okay. And Trigger, the reason why I'm working with Trigger is because he just showed me that he really cares about this stuff. And he was very persistent. He was like, yo, when can we get into the studio? When can we work? When can we get to the studio? When can we work? Send me beats. I was like, bro, I'm doing so many things right now. Like, let me like figure things out. One day I was just like, bro, let's cook up. And we made a beat together, and that was Overseas. That's literally the first thing we've ever made together.
That's fine.
And right now we have like even way better music. So one thing I'd say is, man, persistence. It really helps, man, because that guy, he has like massive.
Are you giving the younger artists what do you call it, the permission to bother producers until they get into the studio? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, not me though, but yes.
Not me though. Bother all the others.
But yes, you should definitely be persistent, but in a respectful way.
Yeah.
But be persistent. So anyway, yeah, we made a song Overseas. It's drill. I'm really proud of it. We did a video with Kizazi Africa. Shout out to them. We have this whole thing called Super Sessions where we kind of just do the performances in the studio.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. So you guys can check that out and support the guys. We're still trying to make it in this music industry.
All of us.
It would be great if you give us some support.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. A song I think I enjoyed.
So you didn't listen to the Drill?
No.
By Big Yasa and Kirby?
Oh, I did. I like that. I've not heard Kirby on a drill beat, so that was very refreshing.
I know, it was a surprise.
Yeah, that was very refreshing. Shout out to Kirby and all of them. That was good. Damian Soul and Ben Soul, the Soul Brothers, released the Soul Brothers released a song called Sale Sale. I first read it as Sail Sail until I realized we're in Africa.
Sail.
It's produced by GL. GL was one of the major producers of I think it's GL if I'm not wrong. Major producers of Ben Soul's project. So I mean it's an Afrobeat joint. It's good. Let me see. Major dropped Way Decide. I felt like the quality is a little low. I feel like Major should keep doing. Do you think Major's do you think his part of his sound is that it's like that lack of polish with his music?
Yeah.
You think that's part of his sound?
100%.
And you think that's a good thing. He should keep that up.
For the demographic that he targets.
Yeah.
I know it's a weird take to have, but people don't care about. This is what I was telling you, Sam. The music industry is not about music. People don't really care about especially the people who are consuming like Major's music, they're not caring about like, oh, this shit was mixed impeccably.
Yeah.
Like that's not what they care. They care about the vibe and what he's saying.
No,
And is it fire?
Yeah, but my question,
Yes, it's fire.
my question is, does that low quality contribute to the vibe? Because you can. My
Kinda.
pushback on that would be you can
It
still.
feels more raw.
You can, yeah, but you can still curate the vibe and the song is sonically
No,
correct.
nobody wants the high quality from that's not what you're looking for from Major's music.
But that's because we've learned not to want that from him. Like I'm pretty sure,
But that's what it is.
if he gives
I'll
us
always
if he
argue
gives us
for-
a consistently 5 to 10 songs with high quality, we'll start to expect it from him. I think it's just because we've not gotten there yet. The fans take what you give
with
them.
Major in particular.
Yes. I'm speaking about the fans take what we give them, and then that becomes the norm for them. So if he begins to give them same content, his content is the same, and he does that very well. He's been doing that for a long time, actually. Shout out to him, man. This guy has been he's been around. But if he does that consistently and still same message, same everything, same vibe, it's just that the mix is better and the song sounds not clean, but it sounds polished enough. I think the fans are going to accept it. I don't know if I'm wrong, but
Yeah, the fans will have accept it for sure because it's Major. Like they fuck with Major, so they're gonna accept it. But like he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to do that because that's not what they're looking for.
But don't you think that contributes to the whole picture of like the whole industry? Like Major is one of the most known. Like if the people out in the West and they look to our music and they see. Now I'm not against it. I also think it works. Honestly, I think it has carry. But I don't know. I feel like it contributes to a picture that might not necessarily be positive. I don't know. It's still something I'm trying to process, but then I don't know. Am I making sense?
I get what you're saying.
Am I making sense?
I know I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I think it's not necessarily like I think it's an argument that needs to be tailor made for the artist. Like now for Sauti Soul, I'm looking for something clean. I'm looking for something high quality, high whatever. Because that's kind of just what they've curated for themselves. For Major, I'm looking for the vibe. I'm looking for the funny storytelling. I'm looking for whatever. If I can hear that, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And if it translates really well in live sound, you go out and it sounds really good, then that's all I care about, really. And that's just how it is, sometimes you just have to kind of like understand how to curate yourself as an artist and what demographic you're kind of targeting.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
Does it for me personally, as somebody who does music, like does it annoy me that like it's mixed horribly?
Yes.
It does. But then if I take myself and my own ego out of the equation, right?
Mm-hmm.
The music is doing what it's supposed to do for the audience that it's targeted to.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
But you also make sense because like if international people are looking into and they're like, what's popping in Africa? I mean, in Kenya. Well, they would say in Africa, and then they look at Kenyan music and they're like, wait, why is it not mixed well?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You just have to get it.
Yeah, there's a balance. There's a balance, I guess that we can't speculate on. It has to be real.
We need to be giving an award every week to the best mixed song in the like that came out.
Let's start that.
So not necessarily what we play at
something.
The end of
Yeah,
the
something that just sounds.
Oh, the mixing on this was really good.
Yeah, mix your songs, man. It's part of the whole thing. It's
yeah.
Even if you want to mix it, even if you want to mix
Block.
it and mix it badly, but mix it.
Oh,
sorry.
Alini Block by Brandy Minor.
Oh yeah, that's fire. Produced by So Fresh is on the beat. It was interesting. Yeah.
Do Re Mi by Furthermore, KRG The Don, Mr. Seed and Jofis. What do you think?
I think I skipped that one. I didn't hear that.
Oh wow, Sam is out here skipping songs. Tisk tisk tisk.
Tisk, right?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Karun seems to be releasing a Lie to Me remixes. Like, I think that's a thing.
Which is cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
There's a song she had. I really wanted to get on that, but I was lazy. Not lazy. I didn't submit my remix, which is typical.
Yes, I remember when they were doing the competition.
Yeah.
So it's good to see like it's paying dividends. Xenia also released with Abidoza.
Did you hear
Is
that?
how you say it?
Abidoza. I think that's South African, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Don't Wanna Love You.
It's dope. It's a chill joint. I like it.
Pretty dope, yeah.
I like it.
What else? Ooh! Mr. Swahili Papi released an EP, Big Makamasi, Big Slime.
Big Makamasi.
Pretty dope. Yeah, I liked it. Big Makamasi was the first track and also my favorite track, produced by Loco and Cap.
Yeah, it's a very short project, 9 minutes. I'm sure Afam loved that.
Oh, bro.
I'm sure he loved
eating
that.
Eating that up.
Oh man. Yeah.
I was with Swahili Papi this week, and shout out to him, man. It seems like he's getting back on the releasing grind.
Yeah.
He's super talented. He just doesn't release as much, and so now to see him releasing more is really dope. And I cannot absolutely wait to hear what else he has in the tuck in store for us. Yeah.
Why did that sound so?
What's funny?
That sounded so industry.
It did, because I have had some of these songs already, but I'm just waiting for y'all to hear them.
So yes. Industry. I can't absolutely wait for you guys to hear what he's been cooking. And get out of here, bro. Miss me with all of that. A song I really enjoyed is by it's called OTD. By Njerae. Njerae is she's a very talented singer. I've seen her sing live.
There's so many Njeraes in the industry that you have to
get creative,
to spice things up.
You have to get I thought that was her actual name until she said her name is Njerae, and I was like, oh, makes sense. Yeah,
there's just so many Njeraes.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. Shout out to all of them, of course. But yeah, it's a song called OTD. After I listened to this song, it took me on a. And this is just me, right? This is my opinion. It took me on a old school. When we say old school Kenya, we mean like 10 years ago. Have you noticed that? It's
more than 10 years. Oh yeah.
It's around 2010s, 20 when like.
Yes, 2010s. Yeah.
So it took me on that because her voice and her intonations reminded me of some of the older female singers that we have in the way she was.
What would we call that era?
I don't know.
Sorry to interrupt. It's like the era that's just post the golden age of Kenyan music. Do you know what I mean?
I think
so. If the golden age was like 2002 to like 2006 over there, now that area post that was this that you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to call it though. It's I'm not sure. Anyway, sorry. I don't think this is the time to think about that. But yeah, it just reminded me. I like how her intonations and her melodies, her riffs, it's really cool. So I'd like to if you would allow me, sir, to play that for the people. Play that for the people like a radio station.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So this is what OTD.
Yes. OTD by Njerae. Yeah, that's OTD. OTD by Njerae. I don't know. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed very slow, very
Shout out to Njerae,
very chill.
Njerae, fire.
Yeah.
I've said all the combinations
Exactly.
so that I'm right at least once.
Yeah. Shout out to her.
Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. We love delivering this podcast to you guys.
Yep.
That was episode 37.
37.
Wow,
Oh man,
Sam,
did
we've
I
been
not?
doing this for
Did I not say that in the beginning? No, I didn't.
You probably did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was episode 37. Listen, guys, thank you. You can listen to us on where can you listen to us? On Spotify, on Apple Music,
All
on
the things.
Anchor Music,
All the
and
things.
on Google Podcasts.
Yep.
You can also find us on
Most of the things.
LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Threads, on TikTok, on YouTube. And where else can they find us, Sam?
What you asking me? I don't know. Where else?
In person. You can find us in person. Also,
pull up
pull up to
the
AFAM's 30% Pod
front door.
Boys. Actually, yeah, I wanna give a shout out to hold up, I'm pulling it up. Sam, please talk so that you can fill in the empty space.
Nope. Leaving this
You're
as
filling in
awkward
the
as it
empty
needs to
space
be.
right now.
As awkward as it's going to be.
Yeah.
You should be more prepared.
Shout out to Wangeshi. Matilda Wangeshi. She manages
Kinoti.
What's wrong with me? She manages Kinoti, and she invited us to Kinoti's listening party. So we will be there.
Yeah.
I believe it's on Thursday.
Yep.
So shout out to the. I can't wait to listen to the music.
Kinoti is really good. He's
Kinoti
really good.
Is
He's
really good.
Yeah.
Really good. At what he does. So you can also meet us in person.
Pull up to Afram's front door.
That's no, don't. Please don't.
Afram, give them your address.
My address is introvert.
Oh gosh. All right.
gmail.com.
All right.
But anyway,
Socials
guys,
and
listen, thank you
everything.
guys. And oh my God, Sam, we're going to be on episode 40 really soon. We're really moving. And then after that is 50. We'll have done half a century worth of podcasts, which is insane.
Half a century? What? We keep getting that wrong. No. Half a century?
Yes.
If we're releasing a podcast a year.
No, Sam, I'm thinking. Okay, yes, fine.
But I understand you. Yes, half a century of podcast. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, guys,
Sorry.
on that somber note,
Sorry,
we shall
man.
catch
I
you
didn't mean
on
to kill your
episode
vibes.
48.
Killed your vibes, my bad.